The emergent mind. Human brain has 86 billion neurons. Individually, not a single neuron can think. A neuron is incredibly simple. It just does one thing. It fires an electrical signal. That's it. A neuron doesn't understand anything. It doesn't have opinion. It has no consciousness. It just fires. So, here's the question. How can 86 billion non-thinking cells create a thinking mind? Not only thoughts, they create patterns of thoughts, patterns that repeat, patterns that compete, patterns that shape your behavior. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're watching a flock of starlings at sunset, thousands of birds moving together, dancing, coordinating perfectly. It's mesmerizing, right? But there is no leader, there is no conductor, there is no bird in charge saying, "Turn left now, dive down, rise up again." Each bird simply follows two basic rules: fly towards your neighbor and don't crash. That's it. Yet from those simple rules emerges coordination. No individual bird understands the pattern, but the pattern exists. So, this is called the emergence. Your brain works the exact same way. Your neurons are like those birds. Each neuron follows simple rules, fires when activated, strengthens connections when they are used together. When billions of neurons do this simultaneously, then the conscious emerges, your personality emerges, your thoughts emerges, and finally you emerge from this process. Now, let me make this personal. Do you ever felt this? You genuinely intend to go to the gym. You decided yesterday that tomorrow I'm going to exercise. You mean it. You're serious about it. But then morning comes. The alarm goes off at 6 a.m. And now two competing desires hit you at once. Part of you says, "Yes, get up, go to the gym. You will feel amazing. You will build muscles. You will be healthier." But another part of you says, "The bed is so warm. You're so tired. Just 5 more minutes. You deserve to rest." Both voices are real. Both are you. Basically, two competing neural patterns are firing simultaneously. If the pattern for active fires stronger, then that particular pattern wins. So, you're not weak, you don't lack willpower. You have two competing neural patterns, which means you are literally of two minds, not metaphorically, literally. Now, let me show how these patterns form in the first place. In 1950s, two neurobiologists named Hubel and Wiesel did a famous experiment. They studied cats' brain. The experiment is they showed cats pictures. While the cats looked, they recorded which neurons responded, and what they discovered changed the neuroscience forever. Here is what they found. In the cat's eye, the first layer of the neuron detects simple dots of light. But when they looked higher in the brain, something amazing happened. The second neuron layer connects the dots from the first neuron layer and forms lines. More higher in the brain forms angles from the lines. Higher still, the neuron detects the shapes from the angles. Even higher, the neuron detects objects from the shapes. Finally, the brain understands the concepts from these neural layers. Your entire visual world emerges from this hierarchy. But no individual neuron understands anything. The dot neuron just responds to photons. The line, the angle, the shape neurons just responds to the patterns, and no understanding. No neuron in this entire chain actually understands what it's processing. Yet, from these simple non-understanding neurons, the understanding emerges. Now, here is where it gets really interesting. Scientists understood this principle. They asked, if brain worked like this, can we build machines that work the same way? In 2012, they found the answer. There was a competition called emergent. The challenge is look at a photograph and tell me what it is. Is it a cat, a dog, a keyboard, or a car? For humans, this is easy. For computers, it's impossible. Then a team led by Alex tried something different. They built a system called AlexNet. They used the exact same principle that Hubel and Wiesel discovered in the cat brain: hierarchical layers, simple rules, and learning. The layer 1 detected a simple features, which is edges and colors. And the layer 2 detected shapes. Layer 3 detected parts. Layer 4 finally detected the object. They didn't design what each layer detects, they just created the structure. Then they showed it thousands of images labeled cat or dog. Just like neurons in a cat brain learn, AlexNet achieved 85% of accuracy. This is where the modern era of AI begins. The key insight here is the same principle used in cat brain, human brain, and AlexNet. The same hierarchical layer, simple learning rules from which the intelligent emerges. The mind and mission speak the same language, which is neural network. Why this is important? This explains so much about your behavior. You want to exercise, you also want to take rest. They are both real. The stronger one wins. Context change everything. You're different at a party than in a library. You're different when rested than when exhausted. You're different when with your friends than when you're alone. Neural network are contextual, depending on what else is activated. This understanding changes how you see yourself. You're not a fixed thing with a fixed personality. You are a dynamic process. The unsolved problem is we can map the neuron that activate when you see red. But we can't explain why red feels like red. We can explain the physics, but we cannot explain the experience. The complete source of this video is from the book The Emergent Mind. This book doesn't solve the mystery of consciousness, but it reframes it brilliantly. Simple rules, billions of interaction from which meaning emerges, intelligence emerges, consciousness emerges, and finally you emerge, and that might be even more profound than magic. Thanks for watching.